The whole congregation, including Norm, may be seated, because we left out what I consider kind of an important line of the bulletin, which is the homily. I'm going to offer a brief homily now, and then we will have the readings, and I do mean brief. What we do with the service of lessons and carols is we read through some of the greatest hits of pieces of scripture that describe the Messiah's birth, both the prophecy that foretold it and the events, or the people who wrote it down after it happened. As I read through these texts in preparation for this Sunday, I noticed two themes running through these texts, themes that delighted me as I found them. The first was surprise. It seemed that everyone expected and anticipated the Messiah's birth from the very beginning. Nearly, there was this sense that somebody would come from God to save God's people. And yet everyone was surprised at the manner and the form in which it took place. They both knew Jesus was coming and had no idea at all that he was coming. There was a creation and a recreation. There was this moment where everyone who beheld Jesus wondered, and wondered, who could this be and what kind of world would he usher in? I noticed surprise, and I also noticed joy. Joy, I think, is a cousin of wonder or of surprise. The wise men are overwhelmed with joy. The angels sing with glory. There is an elevation of the spirit and an excitement, an energy for this new thing that God is doing in the world through Jesus. That energy, that excitement, that joy, well, it seems like it might be getting squeezed out of us right now. There has been a lot of death within our congregation and in the world at large. It seems like every day you open the paper and another big giant of our culture has died. And then this Omicron virus, this variant, it is threatening to squeeze out any glimmer of happiness or excitement that we have for the new year. And yet, what we are asked of as people who believe in Jesus and come to church on the second Sunday of Christmas, and believe me, you are among the hardy worshipers if you are here in person or online on the second Sunday of Christmas. What is asked of us is to come again to this story and find in it not only ancient surprise and ancient joy, but also the possibility for surprise and joy in our own lives to be born. On the same day last Sunday that our dear church member Susan DeHaven died, one of those cultural giants died as well, Archbishop Desmond Tutu. He was famous for giving spiritual power to the struggle to end apartheid in South Africa and for helping organize the Truth and Reconciliation Commission to give practical ways, a pathway forward to peace for a country that was torn apart by racism and violence. With such heavy spiritual weight on that man's shoulders, the word that I heard most describe him in the eulogies and the accounts of him after he died was the word joy. Someone who knew him well said, every time I met him, it was like I was meeting someone on Christmas Day. And I thought, how does somebody who undergoes the struggles that he underwent still walk around the world with joy? And I think it has something to do with trusting that God would do a new thing right every moment that he lived, trusting that he too could be surprised by how God would create and recreate in the world. Now, I'm not asking you to manufacture something here that you don't have, but I'm asking you to see as you sit back and listen to this story that echoes louder and more powerfully than any other story competing with it in the world. If you can't find for yourself a tiny spark of wonder or surprise and the possibility of joy. For one thing that I have learned through the incarnation of Jesus over and over again is that it's when I least expect it that I will be surprised by joy.